Hello, world. Welcome to WFHR's Rapids Report for this Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. Have your host, James, here. I want to send a big shout out to Crockett Septic, sponsoring this time and giving us a chance to talk to our friends, family Natural Foods. Stephen and Katrina Hittner in with us. How are you two doing?
Hey, good.
Good,
Very good.
Very good.
Could be better, I guess. I got a little bit of like stuffy nose.
I like an honest answer.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Other
That's
than that, I'm great.
good. Well, good to hear. I'm glad hopefully you're on the mend.
Yep.
He's taking lots of lovely things, and something we're going to highlight later, a new
Yeah.
product that's going to be highlighted, and it's great for immune system. So.
I was going to say, I feel bad for you, Stephen, because I don't know anybody that can help you with that. I
Yeah.
don't know anywhere to start. I don't even know the beginning.
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll just carry on with the interview. I got
Exactly.
no, this you kind of teed it up pretty perfectly there with that.
Yeah. Cold and flu season.
yeah, it's a
and-
good time to boost up.
And you guys got a lot of stuff that can help you do that.
We sure do. And we're going to talk about some of those. But first, we want to highlight our presentation coming up on November 18th.
Yes.
It is a panel discussion. So what does that mean? We've kind of talked about it. We've toyed with it. What does that really mean? Panel discussion. It's great because it's really like, come with any question you have, and we will do our best to answer it. We have like an herbalist on that's going to be on the panelist. We have Mike Hittner. Do I need to say more?
No, that alone, that right away,
Yep.
you're getting at least half of the audience is there for that.
Yes, exactly. And then we've got a nurse, and Stephen or I or one of us will MC it, and it'll be fun.
It'll be
and
good times.
It's great because we're gonna have a good dialogue, and if people don't maybe have questions, don't worry, we will fill the time with different things that are new maybe to the store, or what to try in. Maybe it's cold and flu season, or maybe
Yep.
it's like the winter blues. We all get a little bit more sad, and like it's really the darkness, but like what are some things that can support that? So there'll probably be something that we highlight in that, but mostly come with your questions. Like it can be anything from like baby, infant health, prenatal health, to what do I do for my diabetes?
Or
what do
geriatric health.
Yeah. Hey,
Yes,
From
yeah.
B to G. No, that
Yep.
really wouldn't really work like that.
We get
but
the meaning,
You
though.
guys get that. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. You would think I'm a part of it. I'm telling so many people and talking about it in the air a lot. I love the idea. I like the format a lot of it. What I also enjoy about this, and this kind of came up in between the last conversation we had, I brought this up with my mom, and my mom thought it was a really fun idea, and she hasn't been by the shop in a while, so she was thinking of marking it on her calendar. And then she was like, oh, I don't know if I should go. I don't really have any questions.
Nope.
And then she immediately went into the kitchen and started doing something with the dishes and putting it down because she was rubbing her wrists because she has arthritis.
Sure.
And I'm looking at her and I'm like, Mom,
Hey, you don't have any questions. Well, here's a question right there.
right there. Like you've never done anything about your arthritis. You've never, I mean, have you thought about asking
Right.
about it? And it got me thinking, there is so much of a Midwest mentality with
yeah.
this of, well, I'm fine. I'm
Yes.
not falling apart. I'm not in an iron lung, so I'm okay.
How can we be better? How can we be weller? How can we, create better wellness within ourselves?
I don't know how many of us even think about the aches and pains we have. We just kind of roll with it. We just kind of keep doing it. But if you take a second and think about, well, what would I improve if I could?
Yeah.
What could I look good? I think you'd have a lot of more questions than you realize to bring to this discussion.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's going to be a good discussion. And actually it was the impetus of this is we were at a Terry Natural training, and they had a panel discussion with different doctors and leaders. Terry was on the panel, some of their lead educators, and
Yeah.
Stephen and I were there.
Doctors, naturopaths, all sorts of
It
great
was
people.
great.
Yeah.
And Steve and I were there, and I think we both were just like, let's do that for the store. This is a great idea because you can have so much diversity. And even if you have a question or you only have one, you can learn from so many of the questions that are there. And it also brings up more topics that like maybe we aren't covering, but it's like, we're not having that topic, but we can talk about it. And so it's great. And so definitely mark your calendar for November 18th. That's a Tuesday, November 18th at 5:15.
Make plans for that, everybody. And again, we'll be talking about it on our shows and making sure that I get a good turnout for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely highlight that one. Something else to highlight is that it's, fall, and it's the Thanksgiving kind of rush of like, what do I need?
yeah.
What are the last minute things? What are the not last minute things? I just need to get prepared for it. I don't know about you all. October was just such a gorgeous season. I mean, today right now is a beautiful day as well in November. So I think like we're used to having more dark. We're used to having colder days that we're like, oh, we can start thinking about this. But Thanksgiving's not far away. So there's things that we like to highlight at Family Natural Foods. Some of it's
We've been bringing in a lot of vegetables, like
Yeah.
really great, like
Really
fall
seasonal.
vegetables, wonderful for Thanksgiving, but
With
you know,
a
just stuff you
story.
can keep around and yeah.
and it's got
Yeah,
a
tell
story.
us the story.
Yeah, so the story with it is that the farms are all coming from 30 miles to 45, 50 miles, like the Athens area to the Custer area. So we have like White Feather Organics, Certified Organic Farm. They've been doing it for years and years. I mean, probably like 20 years now. They bring awesome clean produce. That's great. So we have all different vegetables from them, and then we have like Cattail Organics out of Athens. They have probably the best carrots I've ever had.
For sure. Like the university in Madison does collaborative research with them about their carrots. So like,
She
I
wants
don't,
to.
I don't know if you need
Yeah.
to say anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, her carrots are stored really well, so like we have them for a long time. We have multiple customers now that they don't really like to buy carrots outside of the carrot season because they're just like, oh, I'm spoiled. Her carrots are just so tasty. They're so sweet. You don't get that like, I don't know, they taste how a carrot should. Like it came out of the ground. It tastes sweet, but there's this beautiful earth flavor to it, but not in a bad way. It's all like, this is how a carrot should taste. And they're amazing. She also has some really other fun vegetables. I like to highlight like celeriac, which it's kind of has a celery flavor, but it's a root vegetable. It looks weird and odd.
Yeah,
but
it looks like a
is-
root vegetable.
Yeah, it is the best for soups. You like you peel it and then you put it into chunks, and it is the best like broth to make for soups.
It's kind of like somewhere between a potato and celery, which, like Katrina said, what better thing would you want in a soup? My wife made soup last night. You would know this type of soup, matzo ball soup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You know, it's like chicken soup. It like really heals you. It
Oh,
feels
yeah.
so good. And we were like, oh, we don't have any celery, but we had celeriac.
Perfect.
So she was like, let's put it in there, and I was like, perfect. Like that's a little different ingredient. But she said it was like, she's like, oh, this is even better because it like. She's like, in the soup, it like has its own flavor, but it also takes on the flavor of the rest of the soup.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
really, really a magical ingredient for any soup. Probably other things
You
could
also
do with
use
too.
it for potatoes. I think you made like a potato broth
Oh, yeah.
and you like mashed it into it, or used like the
yeah.
like broth of it.
It
in
would
the
work great in
past.
like mashed potatoes. Like
The
I would
flavor.
like maybe use like a third of that plus
Mm-hmm.
like the rest being mashed potatoes, and you'd get like that kind of, you know, a little richer flavor. Yeah, it'd be fun to like look at recipes and other inspirations. I just know whenever I have it, which is, you know, usually just this little
season.
snapshot in the
This
season. I use it for soups
Right on.
because it's so phenomenal. But there's probably so much else you could do with it. It does keep really well. So like, even though we're kind of talking about it as a snapshot, like you could probably put it in your fridge and have it in a month from now.
Oh
and
gosh,
it'd be maybe
way
longer.
way longer.
Yeah.
I think you could have it to like March, and then you're like, okay, probably it's getting a little softer or something.
Yeah.
Because it's a root vegetable, like Steven's talking about. These things, root vegetables last for a really long
Like we
time.
probably won't have it in our store for too much longer because a lot
Yeah.
of these like we bring in during their season when they're harvested right now, and people buy them. They maybe stockpile them. They cook heavy with them. They enjoy the seasonality,
Mm-hmm.
and then like, you know, the farms we get them from just don't have them anymore. Sometimes we can get them for a while.
Yeah.
Like Katrina was talking about the carrots, we can get those into the early spring.
Yeah, like usually March-ish is when we start.
But they're still in really good shape because like Katrina said, the carrots she's able to store them really well. And some of these root vegetables, you can do that. You know, potatoes, we just reconnect with a farm that we've gotten potatoes from for a long time.
They're huge bakers, and they're beautiful. They're so tasty. They're certified organic.
Yeah,
They're
and
doing all the right
they're
things.
a really good price too because
really good
this
price.
farm just specializes in potatoes, organic potatoes. That's what they do. So Katrina was talking about how many miles we went, and I was like, well, that one was from further, but technically you drove halfway to pick up the potatoes. So yeah. 30, 40 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, I met them in Rosholt. That wasn't actually that far away. so-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they're from like the Anago area,
Which is
technically.
really not that far away
no.
either.
When it comes to potatoes, it's not Idaho.
Right.
And you know, like to get a organic potato that's like a good price, big size. It's been hard for us to to lock anything in. But this farm's done such a great job over the
Their
years.
prices are phenomenal.
Yeah.
When it comes to organic, when it comes to local, I think a good approach for people to think of, and I think the science even backs this up, is think of it like an ingredient, your favorite ingredient that you like to put on things. This meal tastes good, but then you add that ingredient, it tastes so much better. That meal's good, then you find out it's local. It's coming from a Wisconsin company or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it taste even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you two can speak on this, and you have already so well, but to me, as a city kid and stuff, I really wouldn't never thought, well, I know that they say organic stuff tastes better or whatever, but, here or there. Then you start to taste it, and
Your taste buds wake up.
You
You're
can't
actually
go
like,
back.
wow. It's like same
Yeah.
with carrots. Like
We
I
should-
can't eat a commercial carrot. It tastes like a chemical to me. I cannot eat it anymore.
we should turn this into a PSA and warn people you can't go back. Like I've tried. It's impossible for me. And I'm not being literal here, of course, but I will say that, like with maple syrup, for an example,
yeah.
I've mentioned this many times. Hey, Mrs. Butterworth, all those, they're great. They're fine. If that's what you like, more power to you. But once you have like an organic maple syrup, once you have one that's kind of
yeah.
homegrown or anything, it's no going back. It's so
No,
good. It's so much better.
Good. And learning the story of behind it is even more fun. You're like, this is how I collected it. This is how it comes.
Think of these as seasoning, as ingredients on these foods, these things that are just going to make them taste that much better. All these different factors.
We can't not say cranberries because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
in Wisconsin Rapids and we have Ruch's Century Farm, which has been around for over 100 years. It's a family generational business. We have worked with them. There's only a few businesses that we've worked with since our grandfather has worked with. Ruch's is one, and Farm
sure.
Aloe is another.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Which we talked about not too long ago. But Ruch's family farm, cranberry orchard has been around for
There are a couple generations in as far as cranberries go.
yeah.
They're
Been
not
doing it.
the oldest cranberry marsh in the area. They are one of the smallest.
Yeah.
They're very small. At one point, they were the smallest cranberry marsh in the world, I believe it was. But what they do is organic cranberries. You can find cranberries everywhere. I kind of joke with people like, oh, you're looking for cranberries. Just like look in the gutters of the road because this time of year, like they're rolling
They're
off the
bouncing
trucks.
off, yeah.
They're just like, they're everywhere. I remember like walking to work and you knew it was cranberry season when you started to see them like in the road.
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
do
of
too.
funny, but that's how much abundance of cranberries we have here. But the one thing I'll say is like finding organic cranberries
Oh yeah, that's hard.
or local organic cranberries, like that, the list gets very small very quickly. So Ruch's is a great resource. They harvest them specifically for fresh, like eating cranberries, which is different than juice and stuff. So they're really premium. We get a good price on them because I don't know. I guess we've worked with them for a couple of years.
Yeah, they're they're just down the road too, but
Yep.
they're great. So we have them fresh now, and then we'll have some frozen for
Yeah.
part of the season, and
Yeah,
it's really good.
But I mean, if you're looking for them, I'd stop in and grab them because sometimes we get people who come in and they start buying like 10, 20 pounds of these and they're gone. Like we can anticipate as much as we can, but like we even asked like Ruch, we're like, hey, if we needed some more, when should we let you know? And he was like,
I got about
yes.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know.
2 weeks or like, I don't know, it's kind of like yesterday, I
Yeah.
think now, but
Yeah.
so yeah, well, we should have them through Thanksgiving. That would be my hope. That's
Mm-hmm.
certainly our hope, but you never know. Each year's a little different. That's seasonality for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best to pick them up now.
Yeah,
Get 'em
absolutely.
now,
If
get
that's
it out
what
of
you
the way.
want,
Yeah.
just put them in your fridge. They'll be good.
And then the last thing to highlight is just if you're looking for that harder to have the person that has the food allergies and
Oh,
whatnot, we have the gluten-free pie crust. We have the gluten-free stuffing.
Yep.
We have gluten-free options, so that's really great, or non-dairy options. So when you have that relative that's coming into town and you're like, "Ugh, okay, well, we can make it with a separate, a different milk. We just like to highlight that we have that as that option too.
I love the gluten-free crust because like making a pie crust, like a normal one, is hard.
Yeah.
Making one that's gluten-free, like I don't even want to think about that.
And they're so good.
Yeah, they're good. Like I would use it like as somebody who eats gluten. Like yeah, really good. Yeah, nice option to have. We sell a lot of them this time of year because we're always like Katrina said, people are like, oh shoot, how do I make a gluten-free crust?
Yeah.
Well, if you're not doing it if you're not doing this kind of baking at your home normally, like don't learn how to do it just for like this short,
Yeah, keep it easy.
Just keep it easy, buy the crust, you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of those things you might be able to learn later down the line,
Yeah,
or something
absolutely.
along those lines. Yeah.
So, still in the food realm, we want to talk and highlight tea because it is a wonderful season to encompass more tea in our world and our life. I think, what was it, maybe 1 or 2 times back, we had you sampling a tea.
Yeah.
It's the season and the time to try more teas. We have a really good company that does organic, really unique flavors, and it's called Rishi. They're out of Milwaukee, and they are...
Yeah.
They're so good. They have the science behind how to make a really good cup of tea. Like they tell you how to do it for how long, and then like all the details, which Stephen probably could go into way more.
What I think is actually more important than the science is like the tradition.
Yeah.
And they try to bring that to the teas of like, oh yeah, like in China, this is how they brew this tea, or in Japan or in India, like this is how they do it. And like, we often will try to carry different utensils and tools for making the
Yeah,
teas.
like a
and
matcha or something.
Yeah, matcha whisks, which I think we need to order more of. But
okay.
I'll
make a note,
Drew's making
everyone.
notes. We'll have them by the time this airs, I'm sure. Like different, like yerba mate is a South American tea, common in I think Chile and a few of the other South American countries. So we have like these gourds that you would traditionally drink this tea out of. And it's fun to learn about the traditions because oftentimes the science proves the traditions are right. It's like, oh yeah, like they've been doing this for 1,000 years. Like they kind of figured it out, but science just shows like, oh yeah, that is exactly the way you should do it.
Backs it up. Yeah.
So yeah, Rishi does a little bit of both of those. All their teas are basically organic. I think every single one I can think of is. And it's based on a Milwaukee's. So
awesome.
I love their teas. We have some coupons. They sent us some for their tea bags. So they have a lot of their teas available in tea bags. Great to just like get a couple of those this time of year. When you have people coming to visit, it's lovely to have teas.
Yeah.
And this is the tea season. So this, another thing to stock up on while you're in.
And let's highlight, they're like a beautiful looking package, so a great
Yeah.
gift giving too. And it's like
Sure.
for that hard to buy person, as well as, hey, maybe you want to have a couple teas for the holiday season, having it around your house.
Good
It's
stocking
great.
stuffer too. It's not expensive.
Nope. Yeah. And then you get those coupons too, which is great.
From what I've experienced too, tea drinkers, I've been surprised by how many don't necessarily have a favorite tea. They're kind of looking for it, finding different flavors, new
Yep.
ones. You may find your new favorite one.
Yeah, absolutely. So still highlighting the tea. Stephen, have you heard of Sinus Minus?
Oh man, I drank that this morning.
Okay.
It made a big difference.
It's great. Sinus Minus, I think we gave you a sample of that last time too. It's spearmint, thyme, and then the most popular one right now is mullein, which everybody wants it right now.
Yeah,
It's so good
Such
for-
a good respiratory and sinus herb by itself. It's really good, but I love this formula. It's oftentimes 4 Elements top selling tea.
Definitely.
And like to have what would seem like a seasonal tea be your like top selling product just tells you how good it is. Like I could drink this every single day of the year.
It's really good.
And if you had sinus issues every single day of the year, you definitely love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, such great ingredients. And Jane is the herbalist who owns the farm and has been around. Like she seems like family to us because like she's been around since we were kids, doing the same thing, doing it great. She grows all the herbs on her own farm. They're all organic, of course. And then she, formulates these teas with the wisdom that she has as an herbalist. And they're pretty unbeatable. Also a great gift item. But I would say more importantly, something to have at your house like I needed this morning. Actually, I took the last 1 or 2 tea bags this morning out and I was like putting it on my grocery list because I was like, okay, I use this up, but I don't want to be without it.
No.
You want it in your cabinet for those days like I'm feeling right now where your sinuses are a little bit, stuffy and you just need a little support.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've used a neti pot for years, and it's integral to me to do this job.
Yeah.
I've had my adenoids and tonsils taken out. I've got a lot of respiratory issues and some of that, and breathing issues. I have sleep
you
apnea,
need
some of that. So the neti pot thing has always done pretty good by
Yeah.
me. But to be honest, I by mid-afternoon probably could use to do it again. It just gets that kind of built up on me or
You
whatever.
just need to have one of those teas, and you can drink it
I
throughout
tried
the
it.
day.
I tried
Yeah.
this, and I didn't need to do it a second time. That
Oh,
that
cool.
did right by me, and I was good. And I didn't think about it right away, and it wasn't until like around 9 o'clock at night or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I can still breathe through my nose.
Nice.
It is such a if you don't get to do it very much and you deal with this, it is such a freedom, a gift to be able to breathe through your nose again and stuff.
Yeah.
This stuff is really good for that, and it to Stephen's point, tastes great.
It
Like
does.
tastes great.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think-
and I think mullein, like we have a lot of people, I would say like 2 or 3 people a day coming in asking for mullein, just out of the blue. I'm like, what's going on with mullein? I think the best way to take it is as a tea, because there's nothing more nourishing than drinking a tea and like having it soothe your throat. You can smell it. The aromatics are coming through your nose and opening up your sinuses. So that's probably my preferred way, and it tastes good too. That's another important detail, especially in this formula. But there are folks who would rather have mullein in a capsule. Maybe they want to take it just routinely. They want it in their cabinet. Katrina could mention this one. That's a really great formula, wonderful price.
Yeah, or like Steven's saying, so if you're not a tea drinker, we have one that's, you can get mullein just by itself. Otherwise,
sure.
we have one called, it's natural factors. It's called lung, bronchial, and sinus health. All of those good things. We need that. It's got key ingredients like NAC. It got really popular over the pandemic time. It's really good for bronchial health.
Yeah. A lot of benefits to
Lots
it.
of way more benefits, but that's one of its hero powers there. Then we got bromelain, which helps with the inflammation when you have a lot of sinus issues. You're
That
really
comes from
inflamed.
pineapples, kind of fun fact.
Yeah, and then marshmallow extract, which is really good for soothing your whole intestinal tract. So from your mouth all the way down to your colon, it's really good for soothing.
Yeah, as well as your lungs. A lot of herbs that are good for your lungs are also good for your GI tract, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, all kind of interconnected.
Yeah.
And then the mullein, which is amazing, that Stephen was mentioning before, super nourishing. Wild cherry, which is really good for like coughs and lung health and such. And then horbound extract, which is another one, and ivy, all really good,
Yeah.
soothing for the ear, nose, throat kind of area. And
This is like a lot of those ingredients are standardized extracts, so they're concentrated. I think this product sells for like $16 for a bottle. But it was formulated by Dr. Michael Murray, who knows what he's doing. He's been around a long time. So, like it sort of seems like a bargain product, and it is price-wise a bargain, but really high quality ingredients and formulated by, like I said, Dr. Michael Murray. So worth checking out if you want mullein or, respiratory health in general.
yeah, so we want to talk a little bit about we want to talk briefly about mushrooms and how a lot of people are really into it right now for coffee, right? There's lots of
mushroom coffee
with mushroom in it, which is great. And
We sell a
love
really
that.
good one right now. That's. I always tell people the tricky thing with mushrooms is you want to make sure they're going to work for you. And there's 3 things I look for with a mushroom thing. So like this is where the mushroom coffee is. It's sometimes more trend to me than substance. You want to get a mushroom product that's ideally growing on wood like it would in nature, like as close to what it would grow on in nature, not like rice or whatever, because mushrooms don't grow on rice like normally. They can, of course. The second thing is you want to make sure they're using the fruiting body. That's the part of the mushroom you see that grows out of the ground. Looks, that's what we familiarly think of as mushrooms, but the fruiting body is what's been used in Chinese medicine for, thousands of years, and it's what a lot of the research is on, and it's also how you're probably not getting an inferior product. The third thing is you want to get a standardized extract because mushrooms aren't digested very well in your body. Mushrooms are made of chitin, which is the same thing that insect shells are made out of. So if you can imagine trying to break down something hard like that, that's why mushrooms, like if you eat a lot of mushrooms just at the grocery store, you open the package in your car and just wolf them all down, doesn't sound too appetizing, right? You probably get a stomach ache. And this is something we've always known, but there's a lot of mushroom products, including mushroom coffees, that are made with just fresh mushrooms, that aren't extracted. And to get the benefits from mushrooms, you have to extract them, usually with hot water, like making a tea sort of idea, or with alcohol. But the problem with extracting it with just your coffee maker, a drip, drip, drip through the coffee maker, it's not enough. Usually when you extract mushrooms, especially some of the mushrooms like reishi, it takes hours of just simmering them.
Chakatoo is a good
Yeah,
one for
you
a
really
while.
need to simmer them. And so, if you have the patience, do it yourself. That's great. If you don't, we either have this mushroom coffee, which does all 3 of those things, or this, which Katrina's mentioned the whole benefit of going this direction.
So we have so all the things Stephen mentioned, right? Like all of these are my criterias if I'm going to get a mushroom. This company is awesome. We love them. They're a mushroom powder. And so what we love is you might want to use it for your coffee, but you might not be a coffee person. So you might want to add it to your tea or your smoothie or your soup. Like you can do so much with it because it's literally just a dried mushroom powder extract. It's certified organic. And what we love about it is that one, it's organic, but two, it tells us actually what the strength of each one. So like reishi is 250 milligrams in here. Lion's mane, I can't say it, lion's mane. Tom, it's like a hard
It's
to
a
say
tongue
today.
twister, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also 250 milligrams. And what I love about it is that you know exactly what you're getting in here. There's no fillers. There's nothing else added. It's just ground up in the right form, the fruity body of this mushroom. And you can do so much more with it. So like my kids, sometimes they want to have hot chocolate. I sneak some of this inside of there. I make it a little healthier
Well done.
for them.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's like we all are learning more and more about mushroom benefits. There's so much. How can you bring it into your everyday life? And this is a really great way to bring it into your everyday life.
I watched a amazing documentary about how much more we have learned about fungi and especially what's going on beneath us with our trees communicating and everything and so many things that we're really discovering in the last couple of years about this with stuff that we've known, balancing with things that we've known for hundreds of years. And it's really cool, amazing. All that said, I just from Steven just now learned like 4 different things I never knew about mushrooms. Like that was awesome, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got lots of info on that one. He's good.
And I have to do a callback to the panel discussion that is coming up next
right.
week and everything, and remind everybody that that's the kind of brain you can ask questions to and
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
I learned something and I didn't even ask a question.
Yeah, watch out.
Keep that in mind. But also, it's so impactful. And this is how you get people, I think, to try different things. It's
Yeah.
not just telling them, hey, this is good for you, take it. Like, this is why it's good for you. Every product you guys bring to us, every discussion we've had, that's how you approach it. It's not with a, why aren't you doing this? How dare you? Or guilting people or making people feel like they should do something. It's, hey, we got this right here. I think this would benefit you, and this is why.
Absolutely.
It's very, it's really just a breath of fresh air nowadays. But it's
and
also noteworthy.
just like a thought on what you're talking about, James, is like the panel discussion. I don't know what we're going to talk about because it's a panel. People bring their questions, but like that's sometimes where you learn the most, or you learn about things that you wouldn't learn otherwise. That spontaneous knowledge. And Katrina and I were talking in the car today about how her kids use encyclopedias and dictionaries to look up facts because they want to get it from books. Where it's been fact checked and stuff. There's the internet, you can get a lot of information on there, but it's always it's like a Wild West, as we all know at this
really
point.
is.
So it's really, I think it's going to be really fun for people to come to this panel discussion and hear questions that maybe they didn't even think to ask, that are asked by somebody else, and to learn things that they could use themselves or share with their neighbor or their relatives. And then also like get it from folks who have been doing this for a while and are passionate about it. And I don't know, like our dad is certainly a walking encyclopedia himself. So, I think that's why these kind of health talks that we've had over the last, 3 or 4 or 5 years that we've been doing them are so popular, is that people they're thirsting for that knowledge, they're thirsting for knowledge that they maybe don't even know they want. Just like you with mushrooms a minute ago. Did you know you wanted that? No. But now you can't go without it, right?
No. And I'm immediately bookmarking mushrooms, and I'm going to be doing my own homework a little bit later. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to be because what you just teed me off on stuff. It's such a great point. When it comes to those things the stuff that you're making notes on, the things that you're making mental notes on, sure. But then there's the stuff that you don't even think about, but others in your community might be experiencing. You're like, oh, I experienced that too. I wouldn't have even thought to bring it up. It's another good part of the panel discussion, and the great benefits to mushrooms that we're learning more and more about. That product in particular sounds like a great one with the versatility it has.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
absolutely. Yeah.
Great stuff, you two.
Come November 18th at 5:15 for a panel discussion,
Yeah.
everybody.
I think it's a
Join
Tuesday,
us.
right?
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's next Tuesday, November 18th, 5:15.
Make plans for that, everyone, and certainly keep in mind that our good friends at Family Natural Foods are waiting for you already. Get on over there, head on over to 910 West Grand Avenue right here in Rapids. Of course, you give them a call, 715-423-3120. Keep in mind they also have great social media, Instagram, Facebook, like their pages. Keep up to date on the things things they are doing that way. It's a great, if you're planning on being at the panel discussion, encourage you to RSVP, give them a little heads up how many chairs to have and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, buy local, support local. The definition of that is our friends over at Family Natural Foods. Thanks a lot, you two. Say hi to the team over there. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us for another edition of WFHR's Rapids Report.